Hi YouTube, how are you doing, and welcome back to Phasmophobia. In this video we found the new HANTU, which has gotten quite a few changes on the latest update. They've given it some buffs, and they've also given it some behavioral changes that support its strength. And in this video I wanted to test everything about the new HANTU. How scary it is, if it can actually kill you, and what the maximum speed is of the HANTU now. I really hope you enjoy. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it, but let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into the game.
What do we got? We got Robert Taylor, Crucifix, Escape the Ghost, and Repel the Ghost. Alright, those work hand in hand. Let's see what we got. Good old Tanglewood. There's exclamation mark update if you want to hear all about the update. What do we got? Ooh, hey there. Look at those. We got the cards, baby. And, like, instant sign. Hi there. Was that here? It was on the upper floor. Give me a sign. Please be a poltergeist. That'd be amazing. Hiding spot. Look at that. Look at that. Tarot cards are always amazing, yeah. Can you give me a sign? I guess we could pull a card. Do we have another hiding spot? Is that even possible? Is it even possible to have two? I don't know. Let's check. Wandering Dragon, thank you for the 3 months. I don't think it is. I mean, we can just hide in the master bedroom. Let's see what happens, huh? Pull a card. Don't kill me. That's just a wash, I guess. That doesn't do anything. I think I found the ghost. Well, that's one way to find it. It's in the kitchen. Just to yo instant I'm here ghost again. We have had the High Priestess quite a few times. The best thing we've ever done with the cards so far is pulling a High Priestess, and then immediately the next card we pulled a Hanged Man to just neutralize it. That was crazy. That was the best. Okay, so we found ourselves. Oh, that actually gives EMF. Let's run and see if we have fingerprints. Yeah, it's going to YouTube soon. TM. And then everything broke. When I revived myself, everything was broken. We already took a photo of the cards. Do we have fingies? One step closer to double fingies. Take these. Actually, it touched a lot of doors, didn't it? Oh, look at all the fingies. Glorious fingies. I want them all. Literally, you can take fingerprints 10 times and you have a perfect game. You don't need bone, you don't need board, you don't need bone, you don't need cursed possession, you don't even need a ghost photo. If you just take fingerprints, all of them, 10, you'll get the most amount of money from photos. But you have to take all fingerprints, because you can't, like, take one interaction, because that would ruin it. But there they are, more. I did take one of these, so I need to take one more. And then this one. Beautiful. Now we go to the kitchen. Hello there, ghost. Are you perhaps... Jesus, that's so many fingerprints. What? Right, I'm gonna go grab this. Let's see. I can say that this is almost certainly not an Obake because it left fingerprints every freezing. HANTU! Oh. No, no, don't do this. Don't do spirit box. I swear, don't. No. No. Okay, here we go. Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you French? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you French? It's a HANTU! Woo! Finally! Holy shit! Woo! It took us like 3 days, but we finally found a HANTU. Let's fucking go. And the HANTU has gotten quite a lot of changes. The HANTU has gotten quite a few buffs. It has a few new things. It now turns on the breaker, like a lot more. It turns off the breaker, sorry, a lot more than it used to complement its power, which is that it is faster when it's cold. Now they have also changed the speed of the ghost. They have made it, I don't know where my photo cam is. They've made it a lot faster when it's cold, but not a lot faster when it's warm. So it's still slower than the player when you have the breaker on. So this means you can still loop the HANTU with the breaker on, but once you turn it off, it is actually a threat now. Whereas before, the numbers were tweaked in a way that if it was cold, it would still be slower than most other ghosts, which is kind of ridiculous because that's when the HANTU should be feared, right? You should be fearing a HANTU when it's cold weather, but that wasn't the case at all. I showed that in the video that I literally uploaded on the same day, right before the patch. We did a HANTU, we looped it in a freezing room, and it still wasn't really fast or impressive at all. So yeah, definitely needed a buff. And then they gave it the buff immediately. So it's now faster. It is almost Raichu level. Almost, I think it's 2.5. I think it's literally just like Raichu. Because a Revenant is 3 meters per second, which doesn't really mean anything, but as a reference, the player, when not sprinting, is 1.6. So this is 1.6, and the Revenant is twice this. You're pretty much a Revenant when you're sprinting. I think you're slightly faster than a Revenant when you're sprinting. Raichu is 2.5. There you go. Breaker goes off again, of course, because HANTU. Oh, I need to put this. Wait, where did I put the other one? I'm gonna go grab a lighter because I don't think I have that. I want to loop, see if it still can be looped, and then we're gonna turn off the breaker and see how fucking crazy fast the HANTU is when we turn off the breaker. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be sick. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay, good, good. In before it's just a troll and it's actually gonna be mimic a troll. I don't. So yeah, very nice changes. I really like the changes to the HANTU where it's just like a little bit more. Ooh, there's another thingy. I'll be taking those. Look at this book. Wait, the bone now is enough to get a perfect game, and then we can just focus on the HANTU. Where's that boner? Yeah, big room. So they also made it. They did a few changes. Let me make sure that I don't forget any. I think, if I recall correctly, they made it faster when it's colder. So a lot faster when it's colder. Literally the same speed as a Raichu, which is fast. A Raichu is super fast. Not Revenant speed. Revenant is 3. Raichu and HANTU at the fastest are 2.5. So that is, that's really fast, which is cool. It's actually on Raichu level now in its best scenario, which is not often that you'll be in that scenario because it has to be like 0 degrees, which means like it has to be the freezing room, but it'll launch out of its room. Like what I really like about the HANTU is if you have the breaker off, it is fast regardless of... Hello there. It is fast regardless of line of sight. That's what I really like, because where did I put the other crucifix? I'm a little concerned. Oh, there it is. What's so strong about the now HANTU if you have the breaker off? Now, having the breaker off is you don't have that often. Like, you keep the breaker on usually because it's just nicer, but on like larger maps, especially given the Hantu will turn off the breaker a lot. Like, large maps Hantu are now terrifying because, like, if they turn on, because they turn off the breaker more now, and it is a big hassle sometimes to go to the breaker on the large map, it'll almost always be cold anywhere. Like anywhere on the map, or everywhere on the map, and that means it'll be fast everywhere, even when not chasing. So the thing with it actually ate the crucifix. What's my sanity right now? What the fuck? Because that's the same thing with the Raichu. The Raichu will zoom out of, like, when the hunt starts, the Raichu will be incredibly fast. Oh wow, that's aggressive, man. What the fuck? I guess we'll just move the crucifix out of there. I kind of want to take one. We have the tarot cards. Let's just let it hunt. So wait, let me actually look it up real quick. I'm gonna click on the patch notes just to make sure that I have the numbers correct. Let me see. We have changelog. Here we go. Let me see really quickly. What was the exact speed? The Hantu has 2.5 is its maximum speed, which is literally the same as Raichu, and it has a double chance to turn off the power, as well as the breath being 3 degrees or lower. So there you go. There you go. Let me turn that up. Boom. And it is, oh wait, I didn't show you the other numbers, but it is 1.4 at the low. Let me actually, here. 1.4 at the lowest, then 1.5 above that. This is when it's faster than the player. So at 9 degrees, it'll be faster than the player. 1.8, 6, 2.2 at 3, which is like, 3 is kind of what the rooms will be when the breaker is off, and 0 degrees has to be like the freezing room. I don't think any other room really gets to 0 unless it is, oh Jesus. You don't want me to do this, do you? Creepy. So yeah, Hantu is spooky, man. I love it. I love the changes. There's the lovely thing is that they still kept the Hantu being loopable. I'm so glad they didn't take that away. They didn't overbuff it. They've given it a very cool personality. Now, what I still don't really understand about the Hantu is that in the book, it's like, oh wait, they changed the text. They changed the text. It used to be a Hantu is a ghost that can usually be found in hot climates. Remember? So that didn't make any sense. Jesus Christ, just get the fuck out of me. Look how slow it is. Look at this boy. Look at this Hantu boy. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's adorable. Look at him go, he's so fast. You're doing a good job, boy. Now, if I go into this other room, it'll be absolute max speed. We want to see some insane speed. Woo! And then it's back to a little baby. Wait, this is amazing. Little baby. It's actually a curse touch. The difference in speed is super big. And then, okay, now we go, oh, okay. The speed is like, the speed difference. Because this is the ghost room. How perfect. We have a literal comparison between the highest speed and the lowest speed. Because this is the freezing room. And this is a hot room. So we can loop it here and there to see the difference. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know what it was before. Because I don't know what it was before. I also want to listen to the footsteps. I want to listen to the footsteps because you didn't used to be able to hear the footsteps of the Hantu very well. If it was cold, you didn't hear it be any faster, really. But I want to see now that they have increased the speed, will you be able to hear the footsteps now? So I want to turn off the breaker later. We're just looping it a little bit more. I'm going to not pull the cards just yet because if I get a hanged man and die, like, I'm going to be so sad because we need to finish our science first, but I will pull them at the end.
But if I pull now and I get a Hanged Man, then we'll have ruined our one chance against the Hantu. Because this is like the 3rd day of the update. I've played so many games, and we just got a Hantu for the first time now. So just give it a moment. We want to do some testing. I also need to not die. I want to see the difference. How warm is it here? I actually want to see. What's the Revenant's slowest speed? I actually don't know. I think it must be like 1.2 or something, because it's actually crazy how slow it is. It's insanely slow. Let's get this to see the temp. Did you turn off the breaker again, you little sneak? It did. Wait, no, it didn't. The breaker, or the lights turn off when the hunt ends. So it's actually pretty cold here. Oh, wait. So what temperature is this? This is like gonna be, well, you know what? This is actually like 1.5 or 1.65. This is either 1.5 if it's above 9, or 1.65 when it's below 9. So, you know what? Like, so it is, but because the player has a sprint, you can outspeed it like almost always. Like, that's the thing. The sprint is faster than a Revenant. Revenant. You're faster than a Revenant when sprinting. So that, coupled with the fact that the Hantu most of the time will be slower than you if you're in a hot or in a warm room, means that you can just loop it forever, which is awesome, because that means we now have a ghost we can actually loop. I like the ghosts that have mechanics where you have to like manipulate the what the fuck, man? That was on top of me, bro. We want to see the difference? Go fast, my boy. You can very clearly hear the difference. Dude, you can so clearly hear the difference in footsteps. That's very, very obvious. That's actually really nice. The double back, you sneak. You thought I wouldn't see? It is getting, you see how it's slightly faster than my speed now? So, because it got colder when the ghost was here. So the only way it can kill you now, in case you're unfamiliar with the Hantu changes that they did, the Hantu now no longer speeds up during a hunt. The only way it speeds up is by the temperature. So if you go to a cold room, the Hantu will be faster. If you go into a warm room, the Hantu will be slower. However, if you're looping it for a long time during a hunt, it'll be in that room, and when the ghost is in a room, it'll lower the temperature. So if you loop it for a long time during a hunt, it'll also eventually be faster. But still, there, I could easily loop it. Because if you just tap your sprint a little bit every time it gets closer, and just make sure that it doesn't double back, like, you'll be fine. You can loop it. Jesus! Dude, what are these, like, on top of my face hunts, bro? It is already cold enough here to that it's faster. You see the freezing breath? Wait, I saw the freezing breath of the ghost. What? Wait. Did you see that? It did freezing breath just now. Woo! I'm not actually, so, They kind of ruined the breath of the Hantu. So the way that they changed the Hantu now is the Hantu cannot do freezing breath when it's not visible. But as you can see, the ghost is only visible for a very small portion every time. Like, it'll blink in and out very quickly. So I don't think it's, like, I didn't see the breath at all. I don't know why they did that. They changed the Hantu, right? I don't know if they said it. Oh, hello. I don't think they said it in this patch notes, but they definitely did that. Maybe in a previous patch that they made the Hantu only show its freezing breath when it's visible. But that's like, Never. Because the ghost is more invisible than visible usually during a hunt. So let's try and do it a few times around the room or the other room. It's getting... Wait, why is it's freezing in that room? What the fuck? Wait, that's terrifying. Wait a minute. I need to be careful here. Roaming Hantus are also scary. He changed room. Let me see. It was my breath. It could have been my breath, but that made me talk about the other thing. This is unrelated to what I was talking about. I want to see if you can see the Hantu breath. Like, if you can. Because they made it so that it only shows the breath. It's not very useful. Like, the breath is kind of just an extra thing. Because the main way you're gonna identify a Hantu is just try and loop it. If you can, it's a Hantu. If you can't, it's a normal ghost. Or if you're trying it in a freezing room, it might still be a Hantu. So the Hantu really doesn't need an extra tell, but now it kind of feels like it's pointless to have it. I think it is this room now, because it's so cold here. So yeah, this is the, what? This is the freezing room now. Does that mean this is not? Oh, look at this, look at this. It's both rooms now. Oh, you sneak? I can't loop anymore. What am I supposed to do now? It made both rooms cold, you fucker. Now I can loop. It evolved. It evolved. Yeah, we can loop around here, I guess. We can hear it. Let's listen. And then the insane difference in sound, in speed. It was like bong, 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 bong when it started out, and then it was like just normal speed after that. Or like, or even lower, of course. So yeah, you can actually hear the Hantu speed now. Albeit it's difficult. I wonder, okay, so now that we're here, might as well go all the way, turn off the breaker, and actually get the Hantu to, like, get all the rooms in the house to be cold, so we can listen for the Hantu if it is, like, very obvious when it's in cold rooms. Spooky. Let's have a thermo out here. Thermo. We're using in both rooms. What a terrifying thought. A Raichu in both but that's the thing, like it's still what would we change to here now? I wonder what it was previously, because you can still get away from the Hantu. I think the Hantu is still bad, but it might be B tier now. It might be. It might be B tier. Oh fuck. It depends on the map. That's very, very true. Because if it's a small map, I don't think it... I don't really... It's definitely not above B. Like, the highest it could possibly be is B. But I don't know if it is on a consistent basis. But, like, on a big map, I'd say probably yes. Because the fact that it turns off the breaker so much more just means that it's gonna be very cold. But I think that the fact that you most of the time play on a small map and most of the time you'll have the breaker on just makes it so weak. Like, it's not like the Jinn. Like, at least the Jinn, if you turn off the breaker, like, yes, it can't do anything anymore, but it's still a normal ghost, right? And normal ghosts are actually pretty scary. Like, normal ghosts with their speed and speed up will be able to get you really quickly during a hunt, because the speed up of the ghosts, like, that didn't used to be in the game, and it has made the game so much harder. Like, when they first added the speed up, the way that they have it now, where they speed up incredibly quickly, like, within 5-6 seconds of being chased, any ghost is like a Raichu. Man, that's spooky. So yeah, it's just I don't think that
I think it still might be C, but at least it's now, it feels more thematically appropriate, and it has its moments to shine, right? It has its moments to shine, which it didn't have before. So I'm glad to see these changes, the breaker off and the speed differences. That's cool. All right, is the hunting like crazy, by the way? You get out of here. Jesus, man. Okay. So can we hear the difference? It's pretty cold here now. Not the cold, well. So 6 would be 1.8, and then 3 would be 2.2. So if it's below 3, it would be 2.2. I don't think it's gonna get below 3, but it is getting below 6 now. So it will be 1.8. So the 1.8 speed is what we're... Wait! It can turn on the breaker?! Okay, well there you go. HANTU can still turn on the breaker. I didn't even know it could do that. I mean, I didn't say it in the patch notes, so I guess I would have assumed. But yeah, it can also turn on the breaker. There you go. So that's not... It's not like the Jinn. The Jinn can't turn it off, but the HANTU can still turn it on. That's kind of weird. I think that's probably gonna change, I would say. Now we have seen it though, science. So can we hear the difference? No. Not really. It's hard to... I don't think this is a good way to tell. That's actually kind of good for the HANTU. Like, it's good for the HANTU that it's not very easy to hear the difference. Now, we could hear it before, where we had the comparison of, like, the slowest form of the HANTU versus the fastest form. Like, there you could clearly hear a difference. But if you just have the breaker off, like, it's actually impressive how high the temperatures stay when the breaker is off this long. Like, look at this. It's still 10 degrees. You know, that's actually kind of a big deal. Because if you... Yeah, HANTU's definitely C. Like, I didn't know the temperatures would stay this high. I didn't know they'd stay this high when the breaker was off. That's kind of crazy. Let's look at the chart. Wait. So 10 degrees? That means it's actually not even faster than the player. What? So even if you have the breaker off, it's not faster than the player on the rest of the rooms. That's fucking stupid. Wait. Okay, HANTU's still G tier. Like, that's the thing. It might be fast in the fastest room, but that doesn't matter. Like, it should... The way it should be calibrated, in my opinion, is that it should be fast if the breaker is off. So, the average temperatures of rooms when the breaker is off, that is when the HANTU should be fast. But that's not what it is. It's only fast in the freezing room, which makes no fucking sense because that's only the ghost room. Like, even if you have the breaker off, any other room will be apparently around 9 to 10 degrees, which is... makes the HANTU slower than the player, or like right around the speed of the player, which is easily countered by just sprinting. Because sprinting makes you twice as fast as the HANTU then. So yes, okay, so the HANTU, the only situation where the HANTU is strong is literally the only situation, not even on large maps, because on large maps, like, the thing with large maps, oh my god, that's actually so stupid. I didn't realize, yeah, it's, no matter where we are, look at this, 12, no matter where we are, the HANTU would still be slower than you. That's ridiculous. And this is with the power off. Okay, so HANTU on big maps, no problem at all. Even if you have the breaker off, the temperatures don't get low enough for the HANTU to be able to be significantly faster. They'll be slightly faster than you are, but because you can sprint and it won't speed up, you can actually like easily run away into a hiding spot. Because the main issue with large maps is that
is usually long distances between hiding spots. So what can happen is that you're running away from a ghost, and then it'll have too long line of sight of you and be like, if you're unfamiliar, every ghost will speed up when it sees you incredibly quickly. Like, I'm pretty sure that the ghosts, like, they speed up every 2.5 seconds or something like 2, 3, 4 seconds. And they go like they increase very fast. Like a lot of the time when I'm being chased by a ghost and I then hide, and then the ghost is like roaming around where it last saw me, it sounds so fast and then people go like, oh, it's a fast ghost, but that's just because it had line of sight of you for a little bit longer. And that's when it like gets super fast. So that's the strength of most ghosts. That's why they can all get you now, because they speed up so quickly. But the fact that the HANTU can't do that, and most rooms are still like not cold when the breaker is off, right? That's ridiculous. I thought they so yeah, that's why you need to do science. This is why you need to do science before you assume things to be a certain way. Because like the fact that all the rooms now, mind you, this is normal weather. This is normal, this is just clear skies. So if you have rain, if you have snow, or heavy rain, the base temperature of all rooms goes down. So if you have snow, it might be the case that every room actually does get below 3 degrees. And that's when the HANTU would be 2.2. So that's when you have to be scared. So if you are on cold weather and the breaker is off, that's when the HANTU can be fast in all the rooms. But that's literally the only case when the HANTU poses even a slight threat. Because if you don't have a cold weather, and even with cold weather, if you just turn on the breaker, it's also not going to be a problem. So yeah, it's literally that. If the breaker is off, and it's also cold weather, so that's light rain, heavy rain, or snow. I don't think wind is very cold. I'm not entirely sure about the like base temperatures, but if you have a special weather, then it might be cold sometimes. But on clear skies, the HANTU can't do anything. Like, even if you have the breaker off, it doesn't have a chance at killing you. So I'd like to see it be balanced around being fast. Like, look at these temps. I didn't realize, is the breaker on? So you turned it back on. Oh my god. Before it was off, like we tested it when the breaker was off as well. The fact that the HANTU turns on, oh my god, you bitch. The fact that the HANTU turns on the breaker is ridiculous. That should not be happening. That should not be happening. So yeah, I don't know if it also has a higher chance to turn on the breaker. Oh. Because it just has a higher chance to interact with the breaker, right? Or they did say turn off the breaker, but it feels like I haven't had a ghost turn on the breaker this much, ever. Like, the ghosts are very reluctant to touch the breaker. Usually they only turn it off. But this ghost has already turned on the breaker twice. That's a lot. So yeah, it's like, I feel like that might just be an unintended, like this might just be unintended. They probably, I mean, I would say should make it so that the HANTU can turn on the breaker, because that makes no fucking sense. So yeah, HANTU is still underwhelming. A little bit disappointing. I thought the HANTU was gonna be a new Raichu threat, where you'd have to like be very mindful of keeping the breaker turned on, because if you forgot and the breaker was off, then it'd be terrifying. I thought that was gonna be the position of the HANTU now, but after testing, we know that it's really not that scary. It is very cold here. What the fuck? Okay, this room is warm now, but like slightly. All right, let's smudge it. We're gonna do cards, yeah, don't worry. I feel like, so we've tested the, we've tested this, if you could hear it when the breaker was off, and it was hard to hear, so I don't think you can really test it that way, but the easiest way to test a HANTU is just try it. What the fuck, again, man? So it is kind of spooky around a small object like this, because the double back could be happening any moment. So let's see this, right? That's really not that impressive either, honestly.
I'm a I don't know, man. Yeah, I think they're being a little too... I think they're vastly underestimating their own systems. I think they're vastly underestimating how fast ghosts get when they're chasing a player. Like, this sounds good, right? Oh, the ghost has an increased speed when it's cold. Good stuff. But that's not a net positive if it doesn't speed up. Because the fact that ghosts speed up is like their biggest strength. Like, literally. Without that, they would never be able to catch any player. So the strongest thing that any ghost has, even the demon, its strongest ability is still the ability to speed up over time. Like, that's any ghost's strongest ability except like the Raichu and the Revenant. Those have their own way to speed up, right? But that's like every ghost's strongest ability, because you can't loop them that way and they get super fast. So the fact that the HANTU doesn't have that means that you should compensate it in a different way. And I think they vastly underdid this. I think it should be like at 10 degrees, it should already be really, really fast or something like that. Because that means, I don't know, it should just be balanced around the temperature that a room will be when the breaker is off. Which, that temperature seems to be pretty high already. Let's pull some more cards. Let's eat some pills. Pull some more cards. What makes the Raichu scary? The Raichu is the max speed of the HANTU here, which is 2.5. The player's 1.6 against as a reference when it's not sprinting. When you're sprinting, you're a little over 3. So yeah, you're much faster when you're sprinting. So obviously the HANTU shouldn't be able to turn on the breaker. I think that might just be an oversight. And I didn't get to see, that's the one thing I didn't get to test actually. I didn't see its freezing breath at all. Even when it was in a cold room, I didn't see the freezing breath at all. They have made it so the freezing breath only shows up every, like, I mean, it's the same way that freezing breath works for the player. It shows up every, like, few seconds. But what has to happen now is that it has to show up at a time when the ghost is visible, and it goes away immediately when the ghost turns invisible. So they've basically accidentally or purposefully removed the HANTU freezing breath, which is fine because you don't need that. But, like, I don't know why they've just kind of removed it, because it only shows up, it does show up in rooms where it's 3 degrees, but the rooms that, like, 3 degrees rooms are incredibly, incredibly cold. So, like, it has to be the freezing room, basically, or, like, super cold weather. Like, that doesn't just, like, not, rooms just don't get that cold. They're usually around 9 to 10, even with the breaker off. So you're not gonna see the freezing breath of the HANTU, really. Let's pull some cards, shall we? Which card do you think is the best? Obviously the High Priestess. Well, not necessarily, but it's the most fun one. Let's go. Don't die. Oh, come on, man. I've been trolled. Give me back. This locks the room. This locks the ghost in the ghost room for a little bit, by the way. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, this is fine though. You see this? This is when I would probably actually die against some ghosts. I can still die here, actually. But it's rare. Because it has to walk on top of me. Which doesn't tend to happen. Like, that is where... I couldn't get the smudge stick, by the way, because the hunt starts before you put down the tarot cards. So if you pull a death card, by the time you can drop the tarot cards to pick up a smudge stick, the hunt will have already started for quite a bit. Like, it'll already be 1 second into the hunt. Because it takes like 2 seconds for you to put down the tarot cards, which is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, my verdict on the HANTU, it doesn't really feel that different. I don't know what the values were before. It feels like it's still pretty weak. Really weak. Especially because most of the time you'll just have to break her off. It can still turn on, or break her on. It can still turn on the breaker by itself, which is ridiculous. So I don't think we're quite done here yet if we want to make this ghost a threat. Because I would love for the Hantu to be weak when the breaker is on, but strong when the breaker is off. But even now, it's still not the case that it's strong when the breaker is off necessarily. So yeah, that's my verdict. Fun to check it out though. This is my first Hantu, so we saw it all for the first time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A corridor Hantu would be bad, you think. But no, a corridor or any other ghost is much more scary because, as I said, the strongest power any ghost has is its ability to speed up over time. Because the maximum speed of a ghost is much faster than the Hantu would be on cold weather when the breaker is off. Like, the ghosts can get, like, close to Revenant speed if you just have line of sight with them for long enough. Like, they get super, super, super fast because they speed up over time. So, yeah, the fact that the Hantu doesn't have that means that as soon as you go into a warmer room or if you just have the breaker on, like, it's never gonna get you. But yeah, that's a Hantu. New Hantu. First time. That was a very long mission. 13 hunts. That was, we just needed to do some science. So yeah, I didn't get to see the freezing breath because it is so rare now. It has to be in a cold room and it has to show up when it's visible, which is very rare. So yeah, but that's not really necessary anyway. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the Hantu. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And if you want to join the Love the Gamers here in chat, you can join us over at twitch.tv/insim every single day at 7 p.m. Central European time. Thank you very much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.